Hi everybody, welcome back. So now we are going to tell you about the agricultural sector. The open burning report has been also included information on the burning of forest fires and the burning of agricultural waste. In Dr. Sothia's data set, he included open burning of agricultural waste, but did not including the open burning of forests from forest fires. So we can capture this this source here as well. In terms of how Dr. Sothia had calculated the emissions from the burning of solid waste, I'm now in Dr. Sothia's dataset. I think we can update the dataset here rather than creating a new dataset for agriculture because the methodologies are all the same. The place where we want to go is agriculture and agricultural residue burning. We have the methodology for calculating the emissions from crop residue burning is to calculate how much residue was burned first. This total residue burned is calculated by multiplying the annual crop production by the residue to crop ratio, the dry matter fraction, how much of it is dry matter, the fraction that is burned in fields, and the fraction that is then oxidized. Dr. Sothia had values for all of these. What we want to do in this video is highlight where they could be updated based on information from this report and from other sources. So the crop production values are from 2010 to 2015. What we've been able to identify, and we will send to you in the email with this video, are crop production values from FAO stat. Is that right, Jessica? For rice, sugarcane, and groundnut. They were the three crops that we had that had data for 2016, 2017, 2018 in the FAO stat database, which could be used if needed. So we can update the values here for these three crops by extending the intup function. So for example, if we wanted to add in rice, we had 9952000 tons of rice in 2016. I can press comma, enter 2016 and enter that value. And that then extends that value into 2016. The residue to crop ratio were all taken from default values, and there's nothing extra in the report that we need. The same with the dry matter fraction. Where we can really update this data set is with the fraction that was burned in fields. Now for rice, Dr. Sothia had identified a local value for the percentage of rice burned in fields. But there are additional values here. So for example, for sugarcane, in the report it says 50% of the tops of sugarcane are openly burned. But the amount of bagasse that is openly burned is negligible because it's used for electricity generation or in the sugar milling process. What you'll notice is that the amount of bagasse and the amount of tops that is produced are about 50-50. So that means this 50% is actually about 25% of the total mass of residue burned. So the default value that was used here for sugarcane is a pretty good estimate, so we can keep that as it is. The other information that we have here is corn, the amount of corn or maize that is openly burned. And the value was 50%. So the amount of corn or maize openly burned was about 50%. So we can enter that into LEAP for maize, 50%, UNIDO 2017 open burning report to give a reference. So now we have that. That will increase the emissions from the open burning of corn residues quite substantially. It will double it, in fact. That is the main update that we can make to the agricultural residue burning from that data for agricultural residue burning. But we also have information of the burning of forests. We have two variables here. The first is the number of hectares of forest that are burned. The second is the number of tons of biomass that is burned per hectare. So you can see here, I need to know the number of hectares that are burned. So I can enter this directly, 2,932 for tropical and subtropical forest, 2,932. And for tropical, subtropical grasslands, the value was 100. Then I have my biomass consumed. Now the value here for tropical forest is very close to what I have in the report. In the report, it was 43 tons per hectare. So I'm just going to correct that slightly, but it will make very little difference to my emissions. For subtropical grasslands, it was much bigger. It was twice as high as this default. So I'm going to change that to 11. And I'm going to make sure that I provide the correct reference. UNIDO Open Waste Burning Report. So that I know where it came from. That's all I need to do to update the analysis for agriculture and vegetation fire emissions. And then we are done. We've taken all the information that we can for that report. So I hope you've enjoyed this video. Before I finish, I just want to ask whether Jessica, Eleni, or Ryan have any questions or anything that I've missed from the agricultural burning or vegetation fires, or any questions that you think would be useful for people to look into.
No, I think that's fine. Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much, everybody. Looking forward to talking to you on Thursday.